Well, welcome to another day of empowering business owners growing together. And what a beautiful day. Why? Because not only did we connected straight from Florida all over the world, but we connected with my first connection, one and only that I'm bringing to you guys. It's straight to your table. It is Daria, and she's from London, all the way from London here with us today. And what a beautiful Friday just to start the day with the somatic path to manifestation, healing, feeling and creating your reality. Why? Because you're your own creator. You have the ability to create every single dream that you could ever imagine. Why? I say that because I have proven it myself. Every single dream that I have had, I've been able to achieve it. Why? Because I never give up. Because of that, I got to this, and because of that, I made it here. And there's so much to learn from us as we go. And every challenge is because there's a bigger opportunity just waiting across for you to break through and just embrace that love that you deserve. And thank you for being here today. So for the ones that don't know me, I'm Blangelika. I am founder of I Am My Biggest Fan and store owner of Blangelika's Boutique, where I'm here today. And I just want to present you and give the throne to Miss Daria. Welcome. Thank you for being here today.
Yeah, thank you. So exciting. Amazing to be here. Yeah, I'm just gonna dive straight in since some people need to leave, so I'm gonna try and cover as much as possible. So let me share the presentation and see if I can actually see it. Can you guys see it?
Yes, we can.
Brilliant. Okay. Okay, so we are going to cover some of the reasons why some people may be struggling to manifest and how we can change that. We're then going to go into 4 common blocks that are preventing you from the next level in business, and then cover 3 ways to bring your body on board for your big vision. Now, I will have a special offer for anyone who wants to delve deeper, but you will get so much information just out of today in general. And I will try and cover everything in around 45 minutes or so we have a little bit of time of Q&A and some networking, because I'd love to just get to know what you guys do as well. So, a little bit about me. I'm a somatic manifestation coach based in London, and I work with spiritual, multi-passionate visionaries. I help them regulate their nervous system, so that is the main aspect of what I offer, and helping them to reconnect with their body's wisdom. So this is where the somatic aspect comes in, so that we can manifest alignment from alignment, not from burnout, and create that soul-led success. So my background is in psychology. I've worked in mental health. I've worked in addiction. I've got a master's in psychiatric research and I've worked in clinical research. And then on top of all that, I've also got other certifications in manifestation coaching, which is my passion. This is what I do now. And Akashic records, solution-based counseling, polyvagal theory, internal family systems, and trauma-informed. Basically, the point is I've done a whole bunch of different modalities and I've brought it all together to combine into what I offer and the messages I share. So it's a very holistic approach to well-being, to manifestation, to creating the life that we envision. So yeah, I'm really excited to share with you some of the things I've learned. So, why you struggle to manifest? First of all, manifestation is not just vision boarding and affirmations. This is kind of what we come across when people first come across manifestations. They think, okay, let me just create a vision board, let me put in some affirmations, and then I'll be set. The reality is, it's all about the energy behind your big vision. So let me give you an example. You may have one person who's trying to manifest £10,000 a month income from their business, right? But the place they're coming from is because they're feeling like if they don't have that money, they're not safe, or if they don't have that money, they're not going to be able to pay their bills, or they're not going to feel validated, or they're not going to feel like their family is going to support them. So it's really coming from that place of fear and almost like clinging onto it for dear life, like it's the only thing they need. Or we have someone who is trying to manifest £10,000 a month income from their business, but it's coming from that place of It would be really great to have that because it expands my business, it expands my reach. It means I can help more people. It means I can shine brighter in the world. It means I can pave the way and help others do the same. But actually, if it's not turning out exactly how I need it to right now, it's okay because I have other support. I know that the universe is guiding me, right? I'm supported and guided by the universe, source, God, whatever you want to call it, right? Two very different approaches, but maybe the same goal and the same manifestation. So really, it's about really checking that energy behind your vision and making sure you're in that place of expansion rather than constriction. Because often when those intentions or goals are rooted in fear or past traumas, we can't magnetize things to us because we are constricted. So we're staying in that same bubble and we're not able to magnetize things to come to us, right? And when we come from that scarcity, from that mindset of lack, from that mindset of, I don't have enough, I need more, this is why I'm manifesting, it's very stressful and can feel frustrating. It feels like a lot of effort. It's almost like you're pushing and you're pushing and you're kind of hitting against the wall and you're not really getting very far because, again, the energy behind it is keeping you stuck in that smallness, in that constriction. So this brings me on to the reason of why a lot of the time this can happen, this constricted feeling, right? And a lot of the time it's unconscious, so we don't realize this is going on. And this is where I'd like to bring in the body, because this isn't talked about very much in manifestation, but to me, it's actually the first stepping stone, right? The body, as we now know through loads of research, is the aspect where actually all the trauma is stored. So all our past experiences, everything is stuck within the physical body. So yes, it is very helpful to be able to identify, any beliefs that are blocking us, any inner children, any inner parts, like do all those work. But until we actually process through the body, those residue from that trauma will remain. And what I mean by that is the nervous system, which is that animal aspect of our being, will still feel the resonance of the trauma. So it's going to feel unsafe on some level, no matter how much processing you do on the other levels. So when in manifestation, again, people pick up and they just, put down some affirmations. They maybe even do some belief work and trying to change how they see the world and change that mindset. If you bypass the body and you bypass the trauma that's stopping you on the physical level, it's going to create resistance. Like it's going to be very difficult to move forward anywhere when the body doesn't also feel in alignment with the rest of you. So your mind might start to feel like, okay, yes, I'm ready for this. Your higher self might be like, yes, let's go, we're ready for this vision. But your body might be a bit like, oh, I'm not sure. This feels a little bit unsafe for me. So we need to make sure everything is in alignment when we create this big vision. And one of the things I'd love to mention is, especially when it comes to business, is that this belief that if we put in more work hours, we're going to achieve more. If we put in more effort, we just spend all our time and energy or something, we're going to get there quicker. But this oftentimes creates stress, pressure, frustration, fatigue, which again, all these signals are saying to the nervous system, the business is unsafe. The business is feeling like a danger, right? It becomes almost like a trigger because it's picking it up and it's going, oh my God, it's so much work, it's so difficult. And the nervous system is starting to go, it doesn't feel safe. So therefore, it doesn't want you to show up fully in business, or it doesn't want you to grow because it sees it as a danger point. So the more we come from that place of, if we're stuck in that loop of overwhelm and stress and we just keep adding more work because we think, oh, it's gonna like come through if we just do more work, that cycle is not going to finish, and therefore your nervous system is just going to keep flagging it as a trigger point, and it's not going to let you get very far. So what do we do about this? Manifesting in flow, right? So firstly, we want to ask ourselves, are we manifesting from constriction or expansion? So make sure whatever your vision is, check in with this. And we're going to do this in a little bit to check in for ourselves. The next part I'd love to mention is loads of people, again, think the manifestation is all about the future. It's all about that goal, that vision. But really, manifestation is about the now. So let me say that again. Manifestation is all about the now and the presence. Why? Because ultimately, when we create the big vision, we're after the feelings, right? We're after how that's going to feel to us when we get there. So we want to feel maybe more secure, more freedom, more joy, happiness, more time for connections, whatever it is. But the truth is, all those feelings are available to us right now in this moment. So the whole point is that the more we lean into showing gratitude for what we already currently have and for really being grateful and enjoying the present moment, the more that energy builds. So it's almost like if you see it as a trajectory. If you start your journey with this energy of where you see yourself going and you begin there, then that's the way the trajectory is going to go. Whereas if you start your journey with this feelings of it feels like so much work right now, it feels unsafe, like, oh my God, I've got to get so much done, like I have to get there, then again, the trajectory is going to go that way and is going to be only building that frustration and building that sense of unsafety. So it's really important to actually straight away from the get-go lean into the feelings that you want to feel of where you're going, because again, I say they are available to you already. It's all about your perception. Like even the smallest things we can begin to give gratitude for, because gratitude builds magnetism. It builds more of it to come in. So it's kind of how they say, you know, it's about the journey, not the destination. And manifestation is all that too. It's like it's all about enjoying yourself whilst you're holding the space for the big vision. But it's not just about getting to the big vision. It's about really surrendering to the flow of where you're at. And this brings me on to the next part, right? Surrender. And with this, what I mean is, again, there's this sense that with manifestation, we can really rigidly hold on to control of how we think something needs to come in. So again, I'm going to use that example of like £10,000 a month income, right? For someone, it's like this really control of like, okay, exactly when it's going to come in, exactly through what sources. And you go and you sit down and you're like, okay, I'm going to have this many clients or this many sales. I'm going to do this strategy and this strategy. When you have this such rigid control, it leaves very little room for the universe to give you the right opportunities that are fully in alignment with yourself. Because actually, a lot of the time, we might not be able to see the bigger picture quite yet, right? So, this is why we trust our higher self, we trust the universe to present us with opportunities that we then act upon. But if we're so rigidly trying to control exactly how it's going to come in, it's not going to be able to do that. So, it's really about having that flexibility and being open to being surprised by your universe, being open to almost being shocked of how things are coming in, because like that's so much more fun than having like a super exact plan of how we get there, right? It's like manifestation, you have to be in that flow of like a lot more of that feminine energy, a lot more of that intuitive flow. It's not going to work with just super structured. It's very much finding the balance of the two and enjoying the ride, enjoying the gifts and the surprises that are thrown your way along the way. And the big thing is trust, right? You have to have so much bravery and courage to step into the unknown. It's having that trust that no matter how it's unfolding in your best interest, knowing that, again, the universe, it has your back, knowing that your vision is there and it's if it's in alignment with you and you've checked that it's coming from that place of expansion, trusting that it's already happening, it's already coming in, but you're letting the process unfold in its own way. But again, this isn't to say that we don't do anything, right? There is such a thing as aligned action. And what I mean by this is when we hold the big vision of where we're going, and then we let the universe bring opportunities to us, but then we act on them. You know, we still have to show up. We still have to then follow those little paths that are thrown our way. It's almost like, as you can see in the little picture, it's doing one step at a time, right? And we might not be able to see the whole pathway, but we see the next few steps and we take them gradually. And it's like holding the big vision whilst being able to make those little steps and enjoying that journey as we go along. And as I say, it's like honor the past, enjoy the present, and celebrate the future. So, honor the past as in address what's happened, address any wounds that need to be addressed, nurtured, processed. Enjoy the present as in be in the now, enjoy the journey, have gratitude for what you already have, be in those feelings of where you're going, and celebrate the future as in show up as if it's already happened. So have so much trust that it's like it's already happened. I've seen it, and you know how, because if you can visualize it, it can happen, right? There's a saying, it's like if you can visualize it, then it's possible for you. So again, show up in life as if it's already happened because you trust and you know that it's coming in. You just don't know exactly when or how, but there's a huge surprise of how it's going to be, and it's going to be amazing. All right. So just a little bit about my own journey of manifestation. So I had a huge burnout. So my last job was at a prison working with addiction counseling, and yeah, huge burnout happened. I was over perfectionist. I was, trying to do too much, trying to achieve, and like definitely coming from this place of like fears of not being good enough and trying to be the best at work, and all this completely led to me having to then reevaluate my whole life. And I was not paying attention to the signals my body was sending me, right? I started to receive signals for quite a few years, and it began gradually where my sleep was really poor. Eventually, I got complete insomnia. My moods were starting to be affected, so I got quite bad anxiety, depression. I was being hyper vigilant. I was constantly like in this almost like caffeinated state where I was like running around trying to get everything done. And yet I was ignoring these symptoms. Like I was ignoring my body trying to call out to me to tell me to slow down, to tell me to reflect or where I am. But I ignored the symptoms and the messages that were coming through. And I eventually got diagnosed with an autoimmune condition because my body just went into complete collapse. It was like, nope, we're not doing this anymore. So complete collapse. I was basically bedbound for like a year. And to be honest, now I see it as this huge gift, kind of like how Blangelika mentioned at the beginning, right? Everything we go through is a challenge, but we can actually see it as something that makes us change and shift paths, and it can be a gift. And for me, this is where I completely changed everything around. I was like, right, let me go into private practice. This is where I've always wanted to be, so I'm going to go for it. I'm going to start my business. So that's where I landed. But even starting that business, I first started manifesting. And for a while there, I was coming from a place of fear. I was coming from a place of really didn't want to go to any old jobs of working in the systems because I felt like, oh my God, my I'm not going to handle it because of my health. So I was clinging on to making private practice work for dear life. I was like, this is it, or I can't do anything. I'm not going to be able to afford anything. I'm not going to be able to support myself. So it was really coming from this place of fear. And that was restricting anything moving forward. So again, once I realized and I evaluated what the energy was behind it, I shifted that to be able to manifest from a place of, okay, I'm actually doing this because I want to share my gifts, and I'm trusting that I'm supported no matter what. But I had to really go inwards. I had to go through a lot of my past wounding. I had to do a lot of somatic body work to process why I was being in that fear mode, like what was going on, to let go of all this, to let go of this idea that I'm not going to be safe if I don't make something happen. So a lot of personal work happened to make these shifts going on. And then, yeah, the other thing I'd like to mention is that then I started to get manifestations, but I was overlooking them because they were showing up in ways that I wasn't expecting them to, right? And this is where we already previously discussed. It's like we have to be open to the manifestations coming in ways that you might not first picture, right? In ways that might be a little bit not how you expected. So you might overlook them. The issue is if you overlook them, then you almost feel like the universe isn't responding to you. So you keep going on blindly, and they're trying to give you the support, and it's showing up and it's there, and it's like, look, here it is, I've given you. But you're just like not seeing it. You feel like it's failing. You feel like there's no trust. So therefore, again, you're going backwards rather than forwards. So it's really important to broaden your horizon in terms of how your manifestations are coming in. And it might not look in the way you first expected to. So um, I'll give you an example. I'm a kind of person that likes to be in different places quite frequently. So I like to be in, like when I travel, I like to be in different Airbnbs. I like to stay in different places. And this is kind of where I'm heading with my vision, right? But then what I realized is that I already currently have 3 keys to 3 different houses. And I was like, oh my God, I'm already spending my time in different places without realizing, right? And when I then clicked in and I was like, okay, that's my manifestation. It might not be exactly how I envisioned it, but actually it's already come in on some level. And I gave it gratitude. I've then given up more opportunities for then even that energy to progress further, right? I'm like, thank you, universe. You've already given me what I asked for, just in a slightly different format. So now it can give me even more. So next thing to mention is work balance. So again, I had to, even within private practice, I very quickly fell back into my old patterns of overworking, of doing too much, of like trying to push through. Even my mind was like not really working. My body was like screaming out for rest. I was like, no, 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 I've got to get this done. And again, symptoms started to come up. But this time I was like, right, I know what's going on. I need to take a step back. So what really helped was finally like finding my flow within my work balance. So really being able to say, okay, you know what, right now I need more rest, I need more nurture. And then on the following day, I'll be able to push forward, I'll be able to show up. And what I found is that my reality started to shift so quickly. It was like the more I took a step back and the more I recharged, the more I spent time on processing whatever was going on inside, the more opportunities came, because it was like the more I processed whatever wounding and fears, and it was like the picture shows, they started to like crumble away, right? Like all the reality of what was no longer serving me started to crumble away. More opportunities started to come in at a very fast pace. So it's again, a lot of the time we feel like we need to do more and we need to go, go, go to get forward, but actually it's taking a step back to let something new to come in. And I will say about this as well, there's a part of us that tends to hold on to the reality we have, right? It tends to hold on to things because we're used to them, because they're comfort zones, or to even people that are maybe not no longer in alignment with us, right? This was a big thing for me. It was like once I started to shift my reality and shift where I was going, I was really worried that the people in my life were no longer in alignment. And I really had to work through this and work through my wounding of abandonment issues and really get to a place where I was like, you know what? Whoever's meant to be in my life will stay if it's in alignment, and those who are not will fall away, and I'm okay with that. And what happened was that actually, when I went to speak to these people, they all of a sudden were like shifting themselves. All of a sudden, they were also talking about what I was talking about. They were talking about spirituality and all these things that I felt scared that they were going to judge me for. All of a sudden, they were shifting with me. So it was like, the more I shifted inside myself, my reality shifted on the outside, including people, places, situations. So it's like sometimes we fear so much of losing something, but actually it just ends up changing and surprising us even more. So yeah, just a pointer here to really work through any attachment that you may have to things that no longer serve you or are no longer in alignment with you. Right, so a quick little check-in. So just take a moment to just shake out just for a little bit, because we've been paying attention to the screen. And just take a moment to detach from the screen and just to gently soften your gaze and just take a moment to take in your surroundings. Take in your space, seeing how it's making you feel right now. Just taking in the container you're in. Just letting yourself know that right now you are safe in this space. And then just take a few deep cleansing breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Paying attention to the gentle flow of breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. And then if it feels right, you can place a hand on your heart space, because we're going to create a connection with all parts of us. We're going to invite all parts of us to connect to our heart space. We're going to invite our body, so our nervous system, our mind, our inner children, our shadow aspects, and our higher self to all be present as we connect to our heart space. Now you just want to ask yourself the question, whilst holding your vision for your business and where you're heading, am I manifesting from expansion or constriction? Just let yourself receive the answer in whatever way is good for you to receive, whether that's visual, sound, a sensory, or just a knowing. Let yourself receive the answer of whether you're manifesting your vision from a place of expansion or constriction. When you're ready, you can gently return and maybe note this down, or whatever feels good to you. Note down whatever came through if this is useful. All right. Great. So hopefully now you have a little bit more clarity in terms of where you're coming from. So let's move on to the next bit. 4 common blocks that keep you from your next level in business. So we've got fear of being seen. So this is a big one. This is in terms of, showing up as our authentic self, having that judgment from people. And again, this stems a lot from our own childhood wounding or things that may have happened, maybe family upbringing. So maybe we didn't feel safe to be ourselves fully. Maybe we were judged for being ourselves fully. Or maybe we've actually had experiences of already where we show up and maybe we're not quite in an aligned community and we're showing up there and we're trying to be ourselves. And there's that pushback, resistance, rejection. So these fears of being seen can stem from the past, but they can also stem from more like the now, where if we're trying to show up somewhere which isn't in alignment with ourselves, right? So yeah, this is a number one. Number two, fear of burnout. And what I mean by this is, again, kind of how I mentioned in the previously, the body knows when it's being triggered by something like your business when you're doing too much. So sometimes more clients, more sales, more opportunities can actually be scary for the body. It can feel like danger because it thinks if I bring in more of this, if I bring in more connections, impact, it's going to make me feel like I'm going to need to do more work and therefore I'm going to burn out. So it's this internal fear that the nervous system holds that if actually it starts to expand into the business, it's going to lead to burnout or ill health or just not feeling too good, especially if you're someone who's already had those traits and the body was trying to communicate and those messages weren't being heard. So the nervous system is very much keeping itself stuck in constriction because it thinks having more is just going to lead to physical unwellness. And then the next one is money relationship. I mean, this is talked about everywhere. And I would like to also bring in the somatic aspect of how important it is to work with the money relationship through the body as well. Because again, how I mentioned, a lot of trauma is stored in the body. And we can actually hold a lot of trauma to do with money. Again, this is to do with our upbringing. And if you're more in the spiritual realms, then, also past karma, past lives, generational trauma, all these aspects are stored within our body. So we have to not only work with our mindset, work with those inner parts, but we also have to release through the body. We have to integrate those energy cycles of feeling unsafe that are uncompleted. We have to complete those cycles through the body to really change that relationship with money. And imposter syndrome, of course, this is another huge one where, especially in business, we're having to do new things all the time. We're creating new opportunities, we're showing up in different spaces, we're growing. So we might have processed how we feel about ourselves and like how we feel about our capabilities in one aspect of the business, but then we're starting to delve into another aspect and then it comes back again because then it's like, oh, this is another new thing where I'm not sure if I'm going to be good at or if I'll feel confident at. So all these things, to be honest, are It's like we might process them on one level where we're at, and we can do a lot of work with that. But then when we start to expand into the next level, something might come back up again because that aspect might get triggered again. And it's like, ooh, this feels a little bit unsafe again. So then you have to readdress it. You have to make it feel safe. You have to nurture it once more. So it might not come through as heavily as it did if you haven't done any work with it at all, but it might still have that glimmer. And it's about just knowing how to help yourself regulate and help yourself process it in a simple way so then it doesn't become another big resistance as you're growing and expanding. So it's like the more you grow, the more work you have to do on yourself, is how I see it, right? The more you grow, the more you have to show up for yourself because you're expanding too. So it all comes back to safety. Safety is the key word here. Everything is to do around our nervous system safety. Your body needs to feel safe to receive clients, to receive money, to receive opportunities, sales. There has to be that felt safety within the body. So without it, there's going to be that pushback to expansion. So let's do another little check-in to see how we are. So again, just do a little shake if it feels good. Just connecting to our bodies. All right. Let's take a couple deep breaths in through the nose and out through the mouth. Just tuning into the gentle flow of your breath in through the nose, out through the mouth. Okay, and again, we just want to connect to our heart space, to all parts of our body, nervous system, our mind, our inner child, our higher self. And we just want to ask ourselves, how safe do I feel to step into my next level? How safe do I feel to step into my next level in business? Again, when you're ready, just coming back, maybe noting down if it feels good or whatever came through. Hopefully having a little bit more of understanding of where you are in terms of your capacity for receiving, right? In terms of your capacity to hold something new, depending on how safe you feel. All right. So let's move in to our 3 ways to bring your body on board for your big vision today. So, number 1, reflect on how you're showing up in your business and life. If you're holding this mindset of like mind over matter, right? This belief that the body doesn't matter, like it's just about you controlling it, you telling it what to do. Please start to release that idea. Start to instead look at your body as a friend, as a guide that walks with you, as your vessel, as something that you have to build a relationship with, right? As something, as a part of you that's going to have an equal say. So it's not just about controlling it and pushing it and making it succumb, because to be honest, that's probably what a lot of us have had to go through in childhood too. So it creates even more wounding, right? So it's about really building a relationship with our body, really starting to establish a connection with it, seeing it as a friend, as a vessel that's here to assist us when we're in flow, when we're in alignment with it. So it's about listening to the signals and the messages that the body is trying to give you and communicate with you. And it's about tuning in to see if, for example, you're starting to get some symptoms or pains, to be like, okay, let me take a pause. What's going on? Let me tune into my body. What is my body trying to tell me? What do I need right now? How can I help myself right now, right? Our body has so much wisdom. It knows exactly what we need when we take the time to listen to it. And it has such a beautiful way of helping us come into alignment with all parts of us. Again, if we give ourselves a chance to really listen to it. So another part is following the flow of the energy. So our day-to-day energy may fluctuate, right? Like this is just how we are beings. So again, it's tuning into where we are at that day. So if one day you feel like you need a lot more taking a step back, you need a lot more nurture, you need a lot more rest, give yourself that if you're able to obviously in that moment have the capacity and the space to do that, right? It's like we still have to show up for the things that are absolutely primarily we have to get done, but then prioritize, like think about other things where maybe you can shift them off and give yourself that extra time to process whatever you need to process, to nurture, to rest, because then the next day you're going to be able to show up a lot more fully. Whereas if we just keep forcing forward and forcing forward, it just creates that resistance and that blockage. And then eventually it's just this buildup of energy where it's just a huge crash. And we don't want that. We want to be able to follow the flow. So progress happens a lot quicker from a place of rest versus force, right? It happens, it just comes to you. And again, like what I found now is in my business, since realizing all this, honestly, half of my business, half of it is self-care, like half of it is personal development. So the time I now spend on business, I prioritize to do a lot of self-development, a lot of nurture, a lot of rest, and that's as part of my business. Because the more of that inner work I do, the more my business grows, the more it flourishes, because I am the business, right? We are all our business. We have to be in this place of full restoration to be able to show up properly. And the body is our vessel. Like the body is the aspect that also connects us to the higher consciousness, just as everything else. So our higher self, but the mind and the body, like they're all, if everything's in alignment, it becomes like this one channel that can connect us to the greater consciousness of everything and connect you to that intuition. So actually by paying attention more to your body, by having more of that nurture, you're able to receive the guidance from the universe much easier because your channel is clear. Like you're opening up to receive the guidance that you need. So again, for me, for example, what I found is that some days I'm like, I know I'm not in the space of being able to really be in the creative space or think properly. So I'm like, okay, I need a lot more just set back. I need to like rest. Maybe I just need to do some admin stuff. And then all of a sudden, like the following few days, I'll get these huge downloads because I've let myself rest. And all these creative ideas just pile in. And I'm like, yes, this is exactly what I needed. But it just came in the time when it was right. It came in a time when I was ready. And it came in time because I let myself receive it from that place of nurture and rest. So the body's the vessel. It's like they say, the body's the temple, right? We have to make sure it's looked after. Next part is nervous system profiling. This is what I call it. So step one is building conscious awareness about your nervous system. So what I mean by that is, do you notice when you're regulated and when you're dysregulated? So can you tell when you're in a state of balance, safety, regulation, or when you're in a state of unsafety and dysregulation? So this is like step one is building that awareness. And let me just go through the few phases. So as the picture shows, we've got safe and social, so it's the connector mode. This is like our balanced state. This is where we want to return to. Then we've got the fight or flight. So this is the unsafe mode where we may be feeling frustrated. We may be feeling a lot more anger. We're feeling this sort of caffeinated jitterness. We feel like all over the place, hypervigilant, unable to maybe suffering with sleep problems, unable to like our digestion changes, our eating habits change, and that's because when our nervous system is dysregulated, it actually shuts down quite a few processes, including the digestion. Then you can also be in pleaser mode, which is another dysregulated state. So this is again where you're like hypervigilant and you're constantly worried about what other people are thinking. So there's this huge like anxiety, and you're basically just trying to show up to make sure that other people don't react to you. So you're showing up inauthentically, which is also quite difficult in the system. And then there's the freeze mode. So again, this is feeling unsafe, and this is pretty much like complete shutdown, immobilization, states of like depression, confusion, fog, procrastination. So this is where a lot of like procrastination behaviors come in. And actually a lot of the time is because our nervous system is just like, nope, can't deal with this right now. I just need to do something else. And we tend to latch on to say something that just makes us almost like mind numb, as I call it, right? A lot of procrastinating activities tend to be mind numbing because we almost like just need to get away from whatever's happening. So these are different states, and they can show up differently for different people. So just because I said something, yours can look differently. So it's about starting to recognize, okay, when am I in each state? Can you start to see how you show up and what your symptoms are? So then be able to get that awareness in. The next bit is also your relationship with the environment. And what I mean by this is like everything outside yourself, right? So your nutrition, your sleep, movement, people, situations, places, all those aspects. They can be both regulators and dysregulators. So let me give you an example. Nutrition. We can be regulated by nutrition. For example, if we find a diet that works well for us, it gives us a boost of energy that's like spread out throughout the day. It keeps us in that balanced. Or we could be having a nutritional basis, and this is what happened to me, right? I was not eating at all throughout the day because I was in this like hypervigilant mode, and actually to keep myself in that state, I wasn't eating because what that does is it gets adrenaline released into the body, so it gives you this spike of energy. So a lot of the time, to actually gain more energy, we eat less, so it's almost like you then get a deficit, right? And then by the end of the day, I would eat a huge meal because that was the only way I could shut off. Like that was the only way I had to like down regulate my system. And that overall creates a big strain on our body, right? So nutrition, it's like one way we can use it to help us to be regulator, and another way it can be a dysregulator. Same with anything, with sleep, with people. So certain people, also it's like someone you might know, like, are you noticing how are they affecting you? Like when you leave after having an interaction with them, do you feel drained or do you feel energized? Like how are they having an effect on you? Now, this isn't to say you need to go off and like cut everyone out or completely change everything. It's just about building that awareness, because once you have the awareness, you can then start to show up differently yourself, right? You can maybe with people put in different boundaries, or you can find some resources that will help you show up in that relationship. So maybe you'll find something that makes you feel calmer when you're with that person, so therefore you're not so dysregulated, or whatever it is. So this leads me on to the next point of support your nervous system. So for one, look at your environment, looking at how you are in life and what things are regulating you, what things are dysregulating you, and see what you can change without too much resistance, right? For example, sleep is a big one. It's like if you're sleeping 4 hours a night and you know this is definitely like having a bad effect on you, this is something that to look into. Or, for example, finding resources. So for me, a huge resource is nature. Whenever I need extra regulation, I go out in nature, I go for a walk, I connect with my plants, whatever it is. Or it may be, again, people can also be resources, right? It may be calling a friend for that extra support. Or maybe your resource is your own connection to your higher self. Maybe it's meditating, connecting to the bigger vision, the bigger picture. So whatever works for you. But again, it's about finding, building the conscious awareness and then being able to act from that place. But a lot of the time, unfortunately, we don't have the conscious awareness of what's going on within us. Like we just carry on and we show up in life and all these things build up. We don't change anything because we don't notice they're going on. So yeah, we can start to do this. And yeah, the next bit we already did a little bit in terms of what the blocks are, but identify your safety blocks, like figure out what is going on inside, like what are some of the wounds that need processing, what is still being held in the body from trauma, from any previous experiences. it's like, where does your business feel unsafe to you? And I've left two ways of doing this because sometimes when starting the somatic work, people can find it a little bit difficult when there's been that complete disconnection from the body. It can be a little bit difficult to dive straight into it. So I have also provided some journaling prompts that might work well. So if you guys feel like journaling prompts might work better for you, completely fine. If not, we can also do the somatic check-in. And yeah, I think we've got time to quickly do this. So you can do this in your own time as well, in a little bit more depth. So the idea is to go through each part of the business, and you can do this separately. So for example, you can say, look at sales in your business, right? And you keep that in mind, keeping sales of business in mind, and you gently scan your body and you go through one by one and see what's coming up. Or you can do it all together. And this is what I will invite you to do today. We're just going to do like a combined one to just see what comes through the strongest. So yeah, if you guys are up for that, let's again do a little body stretch, get ourselves ready to dive into the body. Oh, all right. Oh, so again, just starting to gently paying attention to the breath coming in through the nose, out through the mouth. All right, again, just connecting to all parts of us, our whole system. Just keeping our business in mind. How your business or your next level in business is feeding to you right now. Just gentle scan of the body and seeing if you can notice any discomfort, contraction, or tension coming through. Maybe it's in a specific part of the body, maybe in different parts of the body, just noticing whatever wants to come through in terms of any tension, discomfort, constriction when you think about your business. And tuning into any sensations. Maybe it's tightness, maybe constriction, maybe it's a color. Maybe it's feeling that. It's a little bit hard to hear, so I'm going to leave it there and hopefully something came through for you guys anyway. I don't know if it's on your background noise, Blangelika, or something, but anyway. Yeah, hopefully you guys got something through in terms of whatever the sensation was. And next time, if you do this yourself as well, you have a little bit more time, you can ask yourself of what feels unsafe about this. So whatever came through, the sensation, contraction, you can ask yourself, what is it that's feeling unsafe? What is this blockage, right? What is it that's coming through? And you can do this as many times as you need to address whatever's coming through. You can split it up into different parts of the business. So just start to delve in, start to get to know what's coming up for you, what is the wounding. And yeah, you can also use some journaling prompts if you're finding that that will assist you as well. Okay, so oh my God, we're almost like literally at the end of the hour. So I will move on to my offer. So if anyone has already had something that's come through and they're like, yeah, okay, I know what it is, and I would actually like to be witnessed, to be guided through working with it, then I do have an embodied breakthrough session. This is 60 minutes. It's a somatic session. So it's somatic processing, delving into the body, really identifying what's coming up, letting it integrate. So really giving you that practice of letting it integrate and showing you how you can work with your body going forward. So showing you how you can work with these blocks, teaching you almost like how to connect with your body and guiding you through how to create that integration, to give you that openness, to give you more space to receive, to give you more safety, to open up that space of receptivity. So this is £55, which is around $70. I think I checked in conversion. And this isn't offered anywhere else. So this isn't on my website. I don't advertise it anywhere. This is purely for you guys, for people who are going to watch this. And I'm offering this for a week. So if you guys are wanting to just find out what is somatic healing, like how does it work, how does it actually feel to connect with my body, and you want to be guided through that process, then this is like a really great sort of little introduction to it, right? Because I think this is such a like big field at the moment, and it's kind of coming in everywhere, but a lot of people don't really know what happens. So this is a really great experience to see, okay, this is how I connect with my body, this is how I process things, how I deal with my trauma, to then give myself space, to give myself safety and give myself openness. So I've got the link there. I'm gonna post it in the chat because that will be easier. And I'm also going to leave my details so you guys can just connect with me. I'd love to connect
Yeah.
in general, like see what you guys do. And
Can
yeah,
you send her your links so that they could, for the ones that haven't connected with you yet? I think you have already connected with a few in the past networking events we've
mhm,
had. But
yeah,
for the new ones that you haven't connected, add her, share, like,
yeah.
invite
So
her
I've
over, invite her over. And I invited her over. She said yes. And look at here, look, we're here now.
yeah, all my links are there so you guys can save it, connect with me, would be great. And yeah, I hope you got loads of valuable information from that. I hope you took away some stuff, got some new discoveries, insights about yourselves and what might be like stopping you. And hopefully you can go forward using that information to really like big build your vision, right? Manifest your vision.
Yes. Yes. I would like to know if anyone has any questions
Yes,
so
please.
far. Any questions? Any like, oh, I like it. This sounds fun. I like that time that I stretched and whatever it is. No, okay. So I like bringing different types of workshops to give you different alternatives for you, for me, and for all of us, because everything we share, it has worked in our business, it has worked in our lives, and why not share amazing things that I know for a fact that it could help you at any level of your game. So let's continue to play, but we're playing big. We're not playing small. We bring this for just for you, for me, and for all of us. But at the end of the day, um, this has helped me come into my more of my feminine energy, and it's so beautiful. I mean, we're not here to have control of everything. And we have to let go of a lot of things that don't longer serve us. But now, with us kind of like rewiring that and letting go, and then embracing our love and just dancing to emotions and just giving yourself that freedom that we suddenly desire, and that unity of sisterhood, that unity of community, that unity of working together as a team. And I couldn't change anything in the world to just come together on this and give you amazing things that a lot of people are scared to talk about, but we're not. We're here to bring you the truth. We're here to bring you what has worked and what will work for the rest of us, whoever is ready to receive. So with that being said, I love you. Stay tuned. We'll come back next Tuesday night. and I'm gonna change them as I go, because my schedules are changing here locally in the store, and they're changing also online. But that's what we do. We grow and things change, and we're here to just always change for the good, always change for the brighter um future that we need. So let me just share this really quick. So you know what's coming up here shortly. Yeah, gotta go to events. And that was you today, my dear. Thank you so much. I love you. Thank you for being here. This is for the local community. We have a full moon today. We have a full day here in store today, all the way up to 10 o'clock tonight. So I might take a break here. I have Miss Beautiful Mermaid Dory here after this call. And then I'll probably take a break, and then we'll come back to full action. We have community strides. Community strides, it's locally and worldwide. You don't have to walk here locally with me. You can walk anywhere in the world, 2 miles. And this is brought up with Russell. We partner, and I'm like, I'm just going to bring it every second Saturday here locally in Auburndale, Florida. But if you're anywhere in the world, you could just join us. Just walk 2 miles. That's all you have to do. And that will be every second Saturday of every month. We have Brittany coming on with Sense of Empowerment. She did change it. Now we're gonna be talking about Sense of Empowerment, Weight Loss, and Empowerment Networking event. Let's do that. I also partner her, not in partner her, I connected her with an amazing lady her near her community. So that brings a lot, because now we're aligned. And when you work with aligned people and people that are same level of kind of like, it just creates a different mentality. It just helps grows better and faster. And I just gave them a few tips of how to do networking events, and for them, or just for their small community there, and then they could grow online too with us. We have a Connecting with the Spirit. This is for the local community. Now it's a mediumship. So you will learn how to do oracle cards readings, and you will also get mediumship messages. We have our community drum circle. Then we have Russell coming in on Tuesday the 22nd. We have the Blazing Connection. Blazing Connection will continue to come once a month summit. And this time around, we'll be talking about purpose, profits, and prosperity. And that's going to be a good one. We also have the Tarot Social. We have the beautiful Michelle coming in on Tuesday, April 29th. And from April 25th to the 28th, I will be in Cuba. So you will not hear from me for a couple of days. Ladies and gentlemen, it's okay. I'm fine. I'll be back. There's no connection there, so I can get connected on the Wi-Fi. And if I find it, I'll come say hello. Otherwise, I will not be available throughout those days, and I'll get back to you. We have Ramona for Empowerment, Connect Holistic Healing and Transformation. In this event, this is going to be in store, but this event is also for Ramona, will be in online. So this is up to like May. There's more coming in there. Oh, there you go. There's Kathy. Look at Kathy. And also Kelly, the belly dancer. So I just wanted to show what I have. There's more things that we're working on behind the scenes for the local community as well. And so if you have any questions, just let me know. If you want to be another guest speaker here, just also DM me. Call me. I love you guys. Thank you for being here. And have a great day, and I'll see you soon. Bye. Thank you. I love you.